All right, I'm Pacey with New in Nashville, and this is a amazing group all the way from. Is it technically the West Hemisphere, East Australia?
Southern Hemisphere.
Oh wait, then what am I thinking of? East and West.
East and West.
Yeah. Are you guys technically West or Eastern?
East coast of Australia.
No. Okay, never mind. I'm just being an idiot.
Southern Hemisphere across the South Pacific.
There we go. Okay, so you guys are all the way from Australia.
Why don't we say all four and north, south, east, and west?
I feel like that's the perfect appropriation.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the world.
So this is Seaforth. They're coming all the way from Sydney, Australia.
Yes.
Now, you guys, first of all, I don't even know anyone in my life for 20 years, except for my mom. So, like, can you tell me how you guys even met at, what was it, 3?
3 years old.
3 years old.
Yeah.
So we actually met at Seaforth Kindergarten in Sydney, which was the town we grew up. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We were playing for the local
Was Christian
cricket
Mingle
team.
even there 20 years ago?
Probably not. Probably
Is
not.
it there at all?
Good point.
I'm not sure. But yeah, we went to kindergarten together at Seaforth Kindergarten. That's where we got the name. And then we went to high school together as well. And we just kind of remained friends and started playing music together in high school, just at like school functions and stuff. And
So
it
essentially,
hasn't stopped.
Seaforth, you guys got the name from essentially the city that you.
Yeah, like the suburb we're from. Yeah, the town in Sydney.
Okay, so it is a suburb of Sydney.
Of Sydney, yeah.
Okay. So why specifically did you guys pay homage to that city?
It's funny, man. I mean, there's a couple of reasons. One, finding a band name is super hard, and everything sounds kind of douchey and try hard. But we eventually, like, we figured, like, our goal was to move to the US because we love America, we love country music, and we love American country music, and that was, like, always a goal. But to kind of keep a piece of home with us in our name kind of made a lot of sense, because obviously we wouldn't be who we were if it wasn't for Australia and wasn't for the towns we grew up in and everything. So that kind of made sense.
Where it all started.
So was it just a consensus between the two of you, or did you guys have to fight over it?
I mean, few black eyes,
couple
tears,
broken
hospital
limbs.
visits.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll tell you exactly how we did it. We had another name before that, which was Swamp Goats. Himalayan swamp goats, to be exact.
Really?
And we
Yeah.
kind of thought we can't really keep this up, so we need to pick a real name. And we got on like Word document, and then one of us would write a name, then the next one would write a name, and we did that for like 5 pages long. And then we went back
And read them all.
afterwards and kind of just read them all, and we're like, hang on, Seaforth. We're like,
Yeah.
this is kind of where it all started. We should go with this. So one of us had written that. I can't remember who had written it, but it started just on an A4 list of terrible names, and we found that one in the middle.
Terrible. I'm sure they weren't all terrible.
I could read them out. Some of them would. Actually, I couldn't read some of them out, but I still got that
Some we-
document.
yeah,
I've
we
still
can
got
say.
the
Yeah,
document.
what was the worst? Like, was it the swamp one?
Swamp
was-
Goats
that
was pretty bad. I don't know. There were some
Expletives,
interesting ones.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Some that couldn't be pronounced on
Not,
the radio.
not friendly for radio, yeah.
Got it. So I know, Keith Urban.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Big
Uncle Keith.
Uncle Keith.
Uncle Keith. So do you know him? Did you know him?
He's our
Yeah,
uncle.
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 He is literally, okay, I
No,
had
he's
no
not, he's
idea.
not.
No, no. We've been
You have to understand I'm very gullible.
we've been telling everyone that he is our uncle, so that he eventually sees it and is like they're like, oh, we saw your nephew Seaforth the other day, and he's like, who? Like, that's definitely not.
He's gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
So you guys have never met him?
I have met him once back in
Briefly.
Australia when I was about 18, and we still haven't got connected in this kind of
Capacity.
context of the music journey.
So it was more just as a fan.
yeah, absolutely.
I bumped into him in an elevator once, actually, and I'm sure he remembers it to this day. I'm sure it's a very fun
Am I being
memory of
gullible
his.
again? I don't know.
No, genuinely, I did. He wouldn't remember it, but I did once.
What did you say?
I can't really remember. I think I wasn't expecting to see him, and I was like, oh, and I couldn't really speak because I was, I don't
and then
know.
he was gone.
Yeah.
Right.
He was like, and then it was like he disappeared in like a cloud of
Sparkles.
yeah.
So because did he essentially give you guys faith, like, oh, this can
Mhm.
happen? Because that
Yes.
that doesn't, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't really know any other country artist like straight from Australia that has made it as big as Keith Urban has.
No.
Well, you've got Morgan Evans working his way up there
Right.
now, and he's killing it. But Keith was just the epitome of just someone that had just left everything in Australia. If you know his whole story, he's had a lot of struggle in Australia, and he's gone through a lot of stuff. But it was just inspiring to us to see what could be achieved if you just you take that dive and take a gamble and work your ass off. And we just loved seeing what he's done over here, and he's just a legacy now. And it was just so inspiring to us. Love the music from just everything in his career was just like getting us going.
Definitely.
And giddy to get out here,
So, and he ended up marrying Nicole Kidman. Now, do you
Yes.
guys see yourselves marrying
Nicole
American?
Kidman.
Nicole Kidman. Sorry, Kate. I'm kidding.
But I mean, do you guys see yourself marrying a famous American once you guys make it bigger?
I
Don't know
mean,
about famous. But
we
Definitely could
like
see it.
American girls for sure.
Okay, so you both like American girls. Are
Mhm.
what's the dating life like right now?
It's interesting, man. I mean, like it's just funny being foreign. Like if you like, just having an accent is always a good like conversation starter and stuff. But I don't know, man. We just kind of just chilling, you know.
So speaking of that, like when do you guys go out to the bars in Nashville a lot?
Mm-hmm.
we do. We haven't had a chance much lately, but we have.
Yeah.
We've done the rounds. At the
And
bars in
definitely when we
Nashville.
first moved and stuff, we were kind
we
of
were
all
very
amongst
social.
it. Yeah.
Does anyone like hear your accent and they're like, oh my God, you must be a famous Brit or something like that?
People-
Like,
A lot of
People will mistake us for Englishmen
Okay.
for sure. They'll
And-
go, hello, mate.
yeah, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh, were you guys like super famous in Australia before you moved here and stuff?" And we're like, "Nah, nah."
okay, how so dating life, is it existent for you two? Is it non-existent because you're traveling so much?
It's existent
It's existent.
for both of us.
Both
Yeah.
of us.
Okay.
We both have females.
Am I allowed to ask? So you guys both have girlfriends
Yes.
that
Yes.
live in Nashville or Seaforth?
In America.
In America,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you guys meet? Like, what's it like? Like, you guys are artists. What is
Mhm.
it like for, like, having essentially a girlfriend dating someone that is up and coming in the Nashville country scene?
I mean, my girlfriend works in the music industry, so she kind of understands it and sees a lot of it. And we were together before this started happening. I mean, it's a little tough now. I mean, not tough, but it's just we're away a lot, so
Yeah.
I could see it's a bit of a stress on her sometimes, which is just natural. But we keep it working. We speak every day, so.
Communication is key, I'm assuming. Every 3 So, let me okay. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I kind of blanked here. No, so earlier I noticed that your hair is red in the picture. Did his mic die? Mics are gone. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, there.
We back?
And we're back.
Are we back?
We are
Okay.
back.
Sorry. So, question again. So, I
Yes.
noticed that earlier when I was watching you sing, I looked at the promo picture and
Yes.
you're bright red,
Yes.
and now you are kind of dirty blondish
Yes.
slash highlighted.
Yes. Last night I got some bleach from CVS, and I don't know. I'm
Which
gonna
we
blame.
have done, though.
I'm gonna
That's another story.
I'm gonna blame the coloring on the tee. I feel like my hair doesn't look red usually in that photo, right? It looks normal. My mom actually has strawberry blonde hair though. She has kind of red hair, so
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
there's a tinge. Maybe
A
there's
tinge.
a tinge.
So, what is your hair color normally?
this like
That-
kind of
oh.
like blonde. Like I've never like really messed with it, so.
Okay, maybe I'm just colorblind. Is it?
No, I see
Colourblind.
it now that I'm looking at it. It kind of looks a little bit of a red tinge, and my face looks very, very pale.
It might be our logo next to it because that's red, and there's also a red light shining on the TV.
And the KNCI
behind
logo
it.
is red, and this
Ah,
and
okay.
it's just sending you up the wall with
Okay.
confusion.
Got it.
into the depths of despair and confusion.
I was like, okay, because it looked like you kind of dyed your beard too, and I was like, I was gonna ask questions.
Dude,
about
yeah,
that.
I just
every show.
yeah, eyebrows, yeah.
So
here.
we heard essentially 4 songs from you guys.
Yes.
Out of those 4, which would you guys say are your favorites? And it doesn't necessarily you guys don't have to agree.
Man, that's really. I mean, it's funny, and this is such a cliche answer, but you write every song that tends to make it in like this far down the process of recording on the album and taking it like. All the songs mean so much to us. Like we've written all of them, and they all have different messages and different meanings for all of us. There are some which are upbeat and fun to play. Like Love That is really fun to play because it's more upbeat. When we play with the full band, it's great. But then a song like Should Have Taken Your Picture, for example, is great because there's like a message behind that and magic as well. Like it's like I don't know, man. It's
They all
genuinely
have,
we
like,
love.
different purposes.
Yeah, we love all of them. But we're in a really lucky position where we're really proud of everything that we've got coming up and everything we've released and will release. It's really cool.
So Should Have Taken Your Picture, was that actually about Keith Urban in the elevator?
Yeah. Well, that was it. Because I saw him for a split second. I was like, I should have taken that picture. Yeah. And then I was like,
Everyone here is thinking it's about a chick. It's actually
Yeah,
about
yeah,
It's
Keith.
about Keith in the elevator.
because what happens is that I should have leaned
Wait,
in. I should have
Keith.
kissed you. Well, that's a bit weird. Then actually thinking of that lyric.
Right.
No.
Oh yeah, that's right. The other lyrics wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
I just dug myself a hole.
I'm like, yeah.
I was like, yeah. I had a joke, and then the kissed you line came, and I was like, I'm gonna pull out.
So, I mean, going to that, was that written about a specific woman?
Well, yeah, I mean, like we have both experienced relationships distance-wise and everything else, and so that was kind of touching on that. But also, man, it's just kind of, that song particularly is just about taking anything for granted, whether it be, you know, a family thing or, you know, like opportunities, and you know, it is more directed to a specific girl in the song, but we actually spoke about it the day we wrote it a lot, and how it can be relayed back to, you know, missing family members and traveling and everything. So it kind of does have a bigger message to us personally, and I think people can maybe take it in whatever way they
just
want.
a lesson to embrace moments more and really
100%.
take in things, because when you don't have them, that's when you kind of realize you're like, damn.
When you see Keith Urban for a split second in an elevator,
Right, exactly.
you know,
I should have taken his picture.
But then the rest of the lyrics don't really work.
you know what would be really weird is instead of saying like, hey, can I get a photo with you? You just say, hey, can I get a photo of you? Like take photos of people, and it'd be kind of straight. Yeah.
Or even worse, can you take a photo of me?
I've heard of a really funny story that I won't go into right now, but it's someone literally walked up to someone very famous, and he was kind of annoyed by him or whatever, and then was like, hey man, could you take a photo? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he gets up to take it, and he goes, cool, I'm just gonna stand over here, and gives him the camera, and like it was just,
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So lastly, I want to ask you, because you're working with a producer that's worked with a lot of talented people.
Oh
yeah, down
big time.
So, you know, like Carrie Underwood, Michael Jackson, Rascal Flatts.
Keith.
So if I were in your shoes, I would be so starstruck. Like, did you, like, what's it like working?
I mean, I remember the first moment we met him and we had our first studio session with him. It was kind of scary because we're like, this guy's our hero. We have a full Nashville band in here. We've never done a tracking session like this with like Nashville's most talented people. So we're kind of sitting in the corner like, hey, Dan, it sounds great. We're loving
like
it.
it's like he'd make a suggestion, we'd be like, yep, sounds good.
He was so inviting and was so great about getting us involved, and we're very hands-on with the project, like from the beginning, ground up. And he was so good at allowing us to have our involvement and give our ideas. And I think we just became more and more comfortable with him, and now we're like really close friends, and very.
The biggest thing as well was that like the music that he created prior to us moving to Nashville, and like with Keith Records and with Rascal Flatts Records and Hunter Hayes, these are the songs and the sound that we fell in love with initially in country music, and then we delved deeper and found. But like to be working with kind of our initial biggest influence has been really, really crazy and awesome.
So, you know, going back to the process of making the music, like was there ever a time where he was like, I think we should change this entire thing, and you were like, no?
No, honestly, there wasn't any big changes, and the only like changes or additions that he would make to the songs were fantastic, and we were like, yep, all the way. But everything else, he was like, it stayed true to how we kind of saw it, and he would enhance it and then come up with a few different things. But any changes he did absolutely made the song way better.
Right.
So,
well,
but there were only very minor things.
I assume because like he's made all those.
There was actually a third member of Seaforth initially, and he was singing more parts, and then he said he's got to go.
He sacked him.
Sacked him. So
got rid of him.
All right, well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming and playing for us. You guys,
of course,
like,
man.
The harmony that you guys are in when you guys are singing, it's very obvious you guys have known each other for a very long time and worked with each other.
Thank you.
For a very long time. So you know, I applaud you guys.
Thank you.
For
very
that.
kind.
Because there are a lot of times where, you know, two people together really just don't
gel.
Right. Or there's like animosity, like hidden like anger and stuff.
If someone wants a little bit, like, hey.
Right. Exactly. Well, yeah, that brings me to actually one final question. If one of you were to go solo, which one? No, I'm just
Mitch is like, well,
my new solo record coming. We haven't done anything yet. I'm already playing it.
All right, Seaforth, thank you so much for coming on Doing Nashville with me. And, you know, much success to you guys. I definitely see it in the future.
Thank you for having us.
Can't wait to come back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.